Maisons Pariente is a family-owned French luxury hotel collection that we created with my sister and my father a couple years ago. We wanted to explore all new design of the hotel experience, and we wanted to offer a different kind of hospitality where our customers will feel at home. We wanted to create legendary places, but with attentive and discreet services. The idea was to have a generosity and a sincerity in the approach in our hotels and have privacy for our guests, as well as high personalization. Each hotel has its own identity. We do not copy and paste concept on hotels from another. The idea is every time to understand where you are and try to bring authenticity to our approach always. We always reimagine a concept, a hotel, an experience for the guest. I think what's important is that we were not in the hospitality industry before, and we think of our hotels, we create our hotels as the point of view of guests. Hi, bonjour from Paris. This is Kimberley Cohen. I'm here with Ranae and her fantastic podcast, Where to From Here, and it's about the future of luxury hotels here in Paris.
We're speaking is I recently stayed in Le Cou Cou, your beautiful hotel in Meribel, and I absolutely adored the fragrance to the point where I forced the staff to sell me a bottle of the liquid because I just love it. What is that fragrance and how do you conceptualize those?
So to conceptualize the fragrance, usually we work with the nose, and he always asks us, what is our intent? You know, what do we want to tell? What is our memories from the mountain, the ski resort? So, you know, when I'm at the mountain, I think about cocooning, I think about burnt fires, cinnamon, and also I think the particularity is that the hotel is only open 4 months out of the year in winter. So yes, you need a fragrance that really fits to that. So we give the brief and we explain the feeling we had about the hotel and the experience we wanted to create. And then the nose tries out little mixes and then comes up with a couple of perfumes. From there, we like this, but this is too much of that.
Yeah, a lot of experimenting. And what about the owl? Because you've got this beautiful fragrance, and then the owl, of course, is a symbol of this hotel. So how does that fit into the picture that you're talking about when the hotel is only open for a few months of the year when you're skiing?
So actually, it's not an owl, it's a Cou Cou. But there is owl everywhere in the hotel, so that's confusing. But the owl actually is an animal that is a decorator loves, Pierre Jovanovic, and that really reminded him of winter, and so we put it everywhere, like in little paintings or little sculpture here and there. But actually the Cou Cou, it's a bird, and it has the particularity of not making its own nests but stealing other. So that was kind of like like a wink for us of animal that it's not his home, but he feels at home in his borrowed nest.
Wow. And how long did it take you to actually build and create Le Cou Cou?
So from the start of the construction to the end, it took us 18 months.
Wow, 18 months?
Yes, I know.
And was that to build the building, or was the building existing?
No, it was a slope, actually. It was a contest of the city of Meribel. The mayor wanted to create a new hotel, so they did a bid on this piece of land to create a hotel. We won the contest. Maybe 3 years before it opened, and the construction from start to finish was 18 months.
That's a big project. And it's interesting, because a lot of Australians, they love going to Paris, London, Mykonos. They're the top 3 destinations that Australians traditionally visit in summer, but in winter they go a lot to America. And one of my big educations is to tell Australians how beautiful places like Meribel and the French Alps really are. I mean, they're just magnificent, right? They're so très français.
It's really beautiful. I mean, the ski resort, I've skied in the US before, but the ski resort in Europe is huge, actually. Les Trois Vallées, the Three Valleys, it's one of the biggest ski domain in the world. So you actually can ski from one valley to the other. There is actually 4 valleys, even though we call it the Three Valleys. You can actually ski from one to another without having to, remove your ski and wear them again, and ski the whole day without taking the same slope. So it's actually quite amazing. And also the food for me is very important. When I went to ski in the US, I mean, the food is great at night, the vibe is fun. There is all the great restaurants and the fancy ones, the fancy concepts. But during the day, you cannot really eat on the slopes, it's only like self-services and burgers and stuff like that. In the Three Valleys, you actually have a real history about stopping and eating. And usually, the one that really enjoy eating, they don't ski after the evening.
Well, I experienced this. I went to La Folie Douce, which was right near your beautiful Hotel Le Cou Cou, which was unbelievable. And with my friend, we had like a 3-hour lunch, and that was the end of the skiing. And of course, we ate at your hotel because there's two of the best restaurants in the whole of the valleys in your hotel. And it's interesting. People say that in America, you can't do that. I can't imagine a day skiing without a fantastic lunch, because you get up early, you ski all morning, and I did what you did and ski from one valley to the next. And I have to say that I'm not a great skier. And one of the great things about the Three Valleys is you don't have to be a great skier to ski everywhere. There's a lot of easy slopes.
Yes, I agree. It's really easy. I mean, even though I'm a great skier, I don't like to take risk anymore. So for me, Meribel is it's really great because you have everything. You have, great food, great slope, great sun orientation also, because you have sun all afternoon.
Fantastic. That's amazing. And just tell me a little bit about your family, because of course, a lot of Australians may not know, but a lot of Europeans will definitely know Naf Naf, the clothing brand, was massive in the 90s. Your dad and his brother created that?
Yes, exactly. So my dad's story started, in the 70s, where he co-founded the brand Naf Naf with his brother. It was a huge success. My mother, worked along his side. She was head of marketing for the brand, and she created all the beautiful ad campaign that made the brand so iconic, like Naf Naf, Le Grand Méchant look, which is the big bad wolf.
And of course, you went into fashion, and you were living in America between LA and New York for like 8 years or something, I read.
Yes, exactly. Yes, after I graduated, I moved to the US. I had a great experience there, went to school, started a fashion line with a girlfriend. And then I met my husband in Paris and ended up moving back here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a great experience.
Yeah, and obviously then went into, artistic directing for the hotel group.
Yeah, actually, it's weird how, life works. But when I moved back to Paris, I wasn't living here for so many times. I didn't know really, what to do. I was like, maybe I, find a work in fashion. And my father was like, my father and my sister worked together for a long time already. And they were doing real estate. So when my father sold his company Naf Naf, he got into real estate, which he did on the side before. And they were doing projects. It was fun, but my sister was not, she loved what she did, but she always told me it's missing something.
Wow.
And then a couple years back, my sister and my father had the opportunity to purchase a land in Courchevel, so the valley next to Meribel. And on this land, they had a permit to build a hotel. But at the time, my sister and my father didn't know anything about the hotel industry. And they said, that's a great adventure. My dad is like a self-made man. He's not scared of anything. He likes challenges. So he's like, let's do it. But they didn't know anything about it. So they decided to join forces with an operator.
Haute couture, right?
Exactly, haute couture collection. So who could...
A very luxurious collection of hotels.
Exactly. They have the Bristol in Paris, the Cap de l'Eden Rock in Cap d'Antibes. They are really a great German collection, hotel collection. At the time, my sister and father worked hand in hand with them to understand the needs of an operator, because it's a great thing to build a beautiful building, but if behind the doors it doesn't work for the collaborators, then you won't ever be able to have the level of service that you want. So
That's
they
right.
worked them and did this beautiful hotel, L'Apogée Courchevel, who became a palace 2 years ago.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And since that experience, my father and sister always told themselves, if one day we have the opportunity to do it again, why not? It was fun. We enjoyed it. We were able to mix two of our core business, which was real estate, and the trend and the forecasting and the service, that we always love to do in the fashion industry. So I moved back to Paris, joined them, decided to explore a little bit real estate. It was really not for me. But at the time, my father is like, girls, someone told me about this hotel in south of France, in Provence, called Crillon Le Brave. It's near Mont Ventoux. I'm going to visit it. We're like, okay, go. And then he
Oh,
calls
what?
us from there. He calls us from there and he's like, girls, I'm buying this hotel. And we're like, what?
Wow.
No. What are we going to do? At the time, we're like, we're not in hospitality. How are we going to run a hotel? Like, we don't know how to do that. And he's like, you don't understand. It's a treasure. It's breathtaking. I cannot tell you how beautiful this place is. You have to come see it. So we're like, hold on, don't make an offer. Don't do anything. Wait for us to come. And so maybe a week later, we went back there with my father and my sister, and we arrived there and we had the same feeling that he had. We were like, it took our breath away. The view is out of this world, and there is something very authentic about this hotel. So the particularity of Crillon Le Brave, it's that it's not a hotel, actually it's a village. So the hotel is composed of different houses of the village. So there is no alleys, no corridors in the hotel, but it's alleys. So you have to go through the street. So there is something very authentic, very sincere about the hotel.
Just give us the location. What are the nearest big towns so I can try and picture where it is in Provence?
35 minutes away from Avignon.
Oh, beautiful, which is another beautiful, beautiful town.
Yes. So Avignon is about, by train, 2.5 hours away from Paris. So it's very close, very, very close to get there. And it's about 2 hours from Lyon.
And can I just say that at this time, I've just been in France and, the airlines globally are having so many problems. To be able to just get on a train from Paris and go there, what a gift that is. That's wonderful. So much easier. And even from Lyon.
It's very, very easy. And we have a lot of European guests that stays there because, a lot of German, Belgium, even from England, a big English customer base there because they really love Provence.
We can also go from London. You can catch the Eurostar to Paris, have a couple of nights in Paris and then go down. I mean, what a way to spend a week or two. And please tell us about the other property and then the one that's coming.
Yes, so that was our first property, Hotel Crillon Le Brave. The second one that we purchased was a 4-star hotel in Saint Tropez, in the south of France. We saw the value there in that property because it was very close to Place des Lys, which is the center of Saint Tropez, the port of Saint Tropez. And as well, it was niched in this enchanted garden surrounded by nature. And we really loved the idea of having a hotel there because we spent all of our holidays there when we were younger. So we purchased the hotel and did a total remodeling. We reduced the number of rooms, made them bigger, and the idea there was to really revive the Saint Tropez of before, the Saint Tropez of the 60s that made Saint Tropez so mythical. So we wanted to give back the true authenticity of Saint Tropez. So we worked with a designer, Charles Zana, who loves the South, who's from the South, and he did a lot of houses project in Saint Tropez, residential project. And so for us, it was important to bring someone that understood the codes of the Provence of Saint Tropez. So we worked with him to do that. We also worked with a landscaper from the South who also understood which essence of plants were local and which were not, to really try to revive the beauty of the gardens, I
was going to say that in many ways for me, the actual town of Saint Tropez is where it's at. Like a lot of people don't stay there. I love the town. It's so small. It's not what you expect. When you hear Saint Tropez, you expect this big sort of place, whereas it's actually quite rustic, isn't it, as a town? It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's very rustic. So the idea for us, it was to create kind of like a place where you can rest, where you can choose the time. If you want to go have fun inside the town, you can. If you want to relax, enjoy the beach, you can. But if you just want to stay and relax at the pool, you can. Saint Tropez from back in the days was very, very convivial. It was kind of like the barefoot luxury.
Yes.
And here at the hotel, people come to have breakfast barefoot, and that's the idea. You sit next to someone at the pool that you don't know, but the kids start having fun together, and you start, talking, and you end up having dinner with that person that you didn't know, the day before. So it's really about conviviality and the sense that you are at home. The idea for us in all of our homes, all of our properties, is to design them like if they were our vacation homes. So
beautiful.
they are very, very welcoming. People really feel at home when they arrive. They really feel that they are impersonated, you know.
Tell us about Paris. It's not open yet, is it, the hotel there?
So no, it's not yet open. It's going to be in the heart of Le Marais.
Great location.
Yes. So Paris is a big project we've been working on for a couple of years now. It's going to be called Le Grand Mazarin. And for that hotel, we decided to work with the interior designer Martin Brudnizki, who is a Swedish designer who is based in London. So the idea behind the Grand Mazarin was to create a real Parisian experience, at the contrary of all of our hotels, where we imagined like, if I had a house in Saint Tropez, what would I want it to look like? In Paris, we're like, I don't want, people, I don't think they expect to come to a Parisian home when they come to Paris. They can just get an Airbnb if they want to do so. The idea was to create something a bit fantastic, a bit crazy, something that looked like it was always there, but at the same time, it's very contemporary. So we created a story about this lady who was hosting literary, saloons, like they were back in the days, back in the like early 1900s, and that she would invite all of her friends and artists and sculptors and all that, and they would come together, and in her home she would travel, so she would have pieces from a bit everywhere, and it's about really so you feel like you arrive in someone's home, just not ours, but you feel like you arrive in someone's home. For us, it was very important to create also a cocoon in Paris, because Le Marais is so busy. So for us, it was important to create something that our customers will feel, safe to go back to, but at the same time that would understood the codes of the area, and not be too stiff in the luxury that we deliver, in the service that we deliver, because Le Marais is very laid back, cool vibe, very upcoming in the concept. The styles in the street, people, they are very daring in their style. So we wanted to also answer to those people.
I can understand, but I have to ask you, as the artistic director, why, you want something typically French, you said, in terms of design. Why did you choose was it a Swedish architect from London?
So, for each project, every time we start a project, we try to write the story before, like, what do we want to say? What do we want to tell? And so from there, we try to find the right decorator to work with us. So for Paris, honestly, we saw so many different architects, Parisians one, foreigners. And at one point, we're like, it's missing something. We need, it's Paris. We need to be, avant-garde, but also, and there was something in the way that we thought about this project that we couldn't find in Paris. And one day a friend told us about this designer that was based in London that we really didn't know about. We started inquiring, looking at, projects he did before that we really liked. And we decided to do a meeting and to go see him in London. Wow. We arrived there, we meet with him, and we're like, can we visit some of your projects? He's like, yeah, sure. And he's the one who did the private club Annabel's.
Oh, it's magnificent. The way he's done that, it's beautiful.
And so we arrived there and we are like amazed, like everything is like from one room to another. Wow. It's you don't understand how can someone mix so many different fabrics. And you're like, wow, everything is amazing. And so when we are there, for those type of decision, my father is implicated, but he really entrust my sister and I to take the decision, because he's like, you are more, more trendy than I am. I'm more of an older guy, so I trust you girls. So we arrived there and my father looks at everything and he's like, this guy is not alone in his head. We're like, yeah, I think you're right. And so we met again with Martin and we're like, Martin, we were amazed by what you did. And it's so at the same time contemporary, but old. You felt like it's also always been here. And there is something a bit magical about this place, a bit, fantastic. And we're like, that's what we want for Paris. We want you to understand the core value of Paris and Le Marais, but express yourself in the way you did here. So that's how we decided to work with him.
I'm so excited to see it. Now that you've explained it, it just sounds amazing. And tell me, we are running short of time, but do you think that family-run hotels are the future of luxury travel? How do you see it?
I think people are, guests are looking for different experience here and there. But I can say that we feel that there is a trend for it, because people now, they want to, rather than just book a hotel, they want to book an experience. They want to live an experience. And I think that is what we are offering. Having a family business for us, it's important because we are involved in every different aspect of the project, from choosing the place to the construction to the design to the experience of the customers inside the hotel. And so we think the hotel, we like if we were the guest of the hotel. So I think that people now more than ever are very sensitive to this approach and understand the sincerity, and they are looking for more authenticity, more generosity than just staying in like a standardized hotel. They really
100%.
want to feel that they are important, that they are just not one more guest.
Yeah, no, 100%. I do agree. And tell me, in your own home, given you're an artistic director, is it wow? Do you have a lot of design, or do you have it very simple to get away from all that?
No, in my home, it's a bit eclectic. I have, stuff here and there, but my husband is more square. So little by little, he's trying to get rid of all my eccentricity. But I love to collect also, plates and, art de la table. So I have a lot of knife, to put the knife on and stuff like that. So in the kitchen, he lets me have all the eccentricity I want.
Wow. And just before we go, how big do you want to make the company as a family? Do you plan to have a lot of hotels? Are you going to limit it? How's your feeling about this?
I mean, we definitely want to still, keep growing, but we want to stay a small hotel collection, because I think at one point when you have too many hotels, you cannot be as involved as we are now. So I think we'll have 4 hotels by the end of the year, probably, not more than 10. But then for now, we are mainly looking to develop in France, just because we know the area, and our country is so beautiful, and there is so many different places that are not well known, even from the French, that we can highlight and bring our touch to. But we are not against looking at other properties, maybe in Europe, close to our home.
Wow. Well, it's just a great honor to speak to you. I mean, the company just sounds amazing. And Le Cou Cou, I love, as I said, the candle with the fragrance you created is next to my bed. That's how much I love it. Like, I really love it. But before we go, let me ask you, where to from here? What's next?
So what's next? It's early in Paris. I mean, early, it's about 10:30. So I'll probably go to the office, work a little bit. Then if I try to leave not too late, I'll go to a Pilates class, and I'll wait for my summer vacation, where I'm going to Greece with my husband and daughter.
You sound like you have the most idyllic life. You've been born into the most incredible family, and it is just a great honor to speak with you. And I hope to stay in another of your hotels really soon, because I absolutely, as I said, love Le Cou Cou. It was just a wonderful experience, and I hope to meet you in person sometime this year.
Yes, hopefully when you come to France, I would love to meet you in person and to show you our other properties, and hopefully you like them as much as you did Le Cou Cou.
Yeah, absolutely, Kimberley. Sounds wonderful. You take care, and hope to speak to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe here and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for regular travel updates. You can also hear our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.